Hello. As you can tell from the title, I have something to tell you. I'm not gonna drag this out for too long. I'm gonna try not to anyway. We're gonna try and get to the point. I don't want to be that annoying YouTuber that really goes on and on and on before they give you the announcement. But also I am a YouTuber, so now I've been given the chance to make an announcement video and give it a cryptic title, I'm gonna go with that. So that's what this video is. So my little announcement, my little life update. I'm not pregnant, I'm not getting married, it's nothing that major. I've just kind of made it sound more major than it is. But I'm gonna be running the London Marathon next year. Have I gone bonkers? Yes, I think I have. That is the announcement. And you may be thinking, Georgie, we watch your weekly vlogs, and only in the past few weeks have you actually mentioned running in your weekly vlogs. Are you even a runner? And to that I'm going to say no. And you're probably thinking I'm absolutely insane, but I'm going to now explain the little story as to why I'm doing this, to hopefully make it make a little bit more sense as to why I'm putting myself through this. So basically this year when the London Marathon took place, I watched it on the TV for the first time ever. I've never watched it before, but my friend Alana was running in the marathon, so I watched it, I was tracking her, I got so into it. Like, I literally loved that day because I got so into like tracking her on the app and sending her texts, like motivational texts and stuff, and like I loved it. Watching the marathon on the TV, if you've never watched it before, I honestly would recommend it because it is just so uplifting and so amazing. And during the marathon, when they show you the marathon, they say if you want to sign up for next year's marathon, the ballot is open for like, it was open for like another week or two after the marathon basically. And I was like thinking about it throughout the day, and I was just like, why am I going to run a marathon when I'm not even a runner? But I saw Alana do it. She basically went from 0 to 100 with the marathon as well, so I'd seen that she had done it. I ended up on running TikTok as well earlier on this year when other people were training for the London Marathon, like in March, April time. I somehow ended up on running TikTok, which then really made me want to run. But the problem I had was the trainers that I used to run in used to give me blisters, so I would go for a run and then I would get blisters, so then I couldn't run for like a week or two, so I couldn't be consistent with it. But there was also no point in me buying a new pair of trainers because I just didn't want to spend £100 on trainers or whatever. Anyway, I decided to open up a tab on my laptop for the ballot entry for the London Marathon because I just thought I would love to run a marathon at some point in my life. I know like there's that TikTok sound where like only 1% of the world's population run a marathon in their lifetime, and I would love to be part of that 1% club. So I opened up a tab and then I left it for a few days because I was just like, I don't really know, I don't think now's the right time for me to enter because I can't even run 5k at the moment. But then I thought, I heard that it is so hard to get a place in the London Marathon in the ballot. Like on the TV when I was watching the marathon, there was this old lady who said that she'd been entering for 7 years and it took her 7 years to get a ballot place. So I thought if I start my entry process now, I'll get a ballot place in like 2 or 3 years, by which point I'm going to be a decent enough runner, so I'm going to be able to run a marathon. That didn't happen. I entered the ballot because I just thought, what have I got to lose? If I enter it, I'm not paying anything. I'll enter it and then I'll let fate decide whether I'm going to run it or not, like whether I get a place or not. And when you enter the ballot for the London Marathon, you can also tick a box to say, if I don't get a place in the ballot, I would love to get a place to run for a charity. So it kind of gives you a second chance. I didn't tick that box because I was like, I do not want to run for a charity yet because that adds a whole other level of like dedication and commitment, because you've also then got to raise £2,000 for your charity if you run for a charity. And I just didn't want that added pressure and everything. Like running a marathon would be enough as it is. So I just thought, let's just enter the ballot place. That will then decide it for me. Anyway, that was back in April. Fast forward to July, I was filming a weekly vlog. I got back from Cornwall and I was packing to go on holiday with Josh and his family, and I so annoyingly didn't actually film my reaction because I didn't think anything of it. The email came through from the London Marathon people and it was like, are you in? And I was just like, I'm not really that fast, I probably haven't got a place, so there's no point filming my reaction. I opened up my email and lo and behold, somehow I managed to get a place in the ballot in the London Marathon first time round. So then that left me in a predicament because I was kind of like, I've been given a place. I said I was going to let the universe decide whether I run it, and the universe has given me a place, but I also can't run, so why am I going to accept this? But then I also thought, if I turn down this ballot place, I'm not sure I'm ever going to get one again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was just a little bit worried that, like, if I turned it down, the London Marathon, if I applied again, would look and be like, we offered her a place in 2023 and she turned it down. So I left it for literally like a month. I went away on holiday with Josh's family. I went to Josh's graduation, and I remember going to Josh's graduation, and obviously I dropped out of university, so I'm never going to have a graduation day, and I don't really care about that, to be honest. But still, when I was sat there and I was watching all the people that were graduating that day, they were going up, they were having their name called, they were being cheered for, they were clapping, the families were whooping, And I was just kind of like, I'm never gonna get that. I'm never gonna get to walk up on stage and accept an award. Well, maybe, you never know. I'm not gonna get a BAFTA or anything, but there might be a YouTube award or some sort. But anyway, I'm never gonna go up on stage and accept like a graduation scroll thing and have my name cheered for. And then I sat there and I thought, but actually, if I ran the London Marathon, I would have family and friends clapping for me and cheering my name. So that was another kind of reason for it. I also thought, do you know what? Now is the best time if ever to run it. I literally just work for myself. I don't have any kids. My job is luckily really flexible, so I can fit training in around my job and stuff. If I want to run a marathon at some point in my life, this is probably the best time for me to do it. But I still wasn't sure. I still was like on the fence. Do I like sign up? I had until the 1st of August to like secure my place and pay for my entry pace. And then my dad said to me, if you run the London Marathon, I'll pay you £1,000. So I said, okay, Dad, I think I'm going to do it. Because now every time I go on a training run, I just think of the fact that give it 12 months or whatever after I run the marathon, I can go on a lovely holiday, which £1,000 is going to get me a decent holiday, to be fair. And that was a little bit of a motivational factor, to be fair. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do it. So I am now in training for the London Marathon. If you've watched my most recent weekly vlogs the past couple of weeks, you might have noticed I've been running a lot more frequently, and that is because I have started my training process. But I didn't want to tell you yet. I wanted to wait until I announced it. But basically what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do like loads and loads of running content here on my YouTube because I'm not a fitness channel and some people won't be interested in that. But in my weekly vlogs, obviously that is just me sharing my life, and currently training for a marathon is now part of my life. So if you want to kind of follow along on my marathon training process, definitely watch my weekly vlogs because there'll be like running hauls and just things like that in there. And I'm also doing a series over on my TikTok where I'm like training for the London Marathon, because last year or like the marathon that's just been, if you know what I mean, this year's marathon, there was loads of TikToks, like I said, that came up on my For You page, and there's been a few this year, and a lot of like I see a lot of like ones on my For You page where they're girls that can't run and they're training to run a marathon. So it's really nice to see other people sort of doing the same thing as me, literally going 0 to 100. So I'm doing a little series over my TikTok, which is at georgieiclarke, if you want to go and have a look at that as well. So yeah, that is what I'm doing. Have I gone completely bonkers? Yes, I have. But at the start of this year, I said I wanted to be running a long enough distance to warrant buying a running vest. I didn't expect to be training for a marathon by the end of the year, but still, this is like, I'm actually really glad I've got this because it's given me something to commit to, and it's actually motivating me. Like, if I didn't have the marathon to train for, would I be going on 3 to 4 runs a week? Probably not. But like I said, at the start of this year, I really wanted to get into running and get into long distance running. So this has given me like the push that I needed. It's given me something to work towards, that I am being committed, and I'm actually loving it. Granted, am I going to love it in the winter when it's raining and it's cold and I've got to run like 20k? Probably not, but at the moment I'm actually really enjoying it. Currently I am just running the marathon for me, like just as like a challenge for myself, giving myself something to work towards. But I have had a few charities emailing me kind of saying they want me to run for them, sort of thing. If you like sign up for the marathon, you can say what charities you're interested in, and I'm kind of tempted to do it. Like, as much as this marathon is a challenge for me, if I can earn, like if I can raise some money for a charity at the same time as doing it, I'm kind of tempted to. Like, I didn't want to run for a charity with like a charity place because I didn't want to have the pressure of earning a certain amount and stuff like that. But this way I don't have a target to reach, but I might as well earn some money whilst I'm doing it. So I'm kind of in two minds as to what charity to run for. I've got Mind Charity, which is quite a good one for me because obviously I did drop out of uni for mental health reasons, and I have struggled with mental health, and so have other people in my family, and I know it's a massive issue in general with everyone. So I'm kind of tempted to run for Mind, and then I'm also tempted to run for testicular cancer, like prostate cancer, which is a bit of a weird one for a girl to run for, but that's part of like, that's one of the reasons why I kind of want to run for them. My granddad unfortunately had prostate cancer, and that is like kind of what, like, you know, part of the reason why he is sadly no longer with us. So that's obviously a really, really strong factor for me to want to run for them. But also the other day I was out for lunch with my mum and we bumped into a family friend, and she was saying how somebody she now knows has been diagnosed with testicular cancer, and now she's basically trying to tell everyone, like tell all the men in her life to get tested, because the only reason he found out he had it was because his brother had it and he got tested, and his brother only got tested because his friend got tested. Do you know what I mean? So they're only actually finding out because they're getting tested, they're not actually getting the symptoms and stuff. And she made a really good point, which I hadn't thought about, that as women, we get so many tests done for things. Like, we go and have our smear tests and stuff, so we get like that annual test, but men don't have that for testicular cancer apparently. Like, they kind of have to test themselves or like go to the doctors like Do you know what I mean? It's not like you don't get a letter through the post to say, oh, you're due your test, whereas women do. So she was basically trying to say like a lot more awareness needs to be raised about it. And then that kind of made me think, that's another reason for me to run for them. But yeah, it's obviously quite a male, that is a very male dominated charity because it is a male issue, but I quite like the fact that as a woman, I could raise money for them and like raise awareness. I think that's quite nice. Like when I see men running for like breast cancer and doing the Race for Life, I think that's really lovely. And also I've obviously got a family reason behind it. So I might do that. I haven't yet decided, but I'm kind of like, why not? So yeah, this is my new life update. This is what I'm doing. I've bought some new trainers now so I can run without having blisters and being written off for a week, which is part of the reason why I wasn't being able to be committed. But now I need to be committed. I've got something to work towards. I'm doing a training plan, which is like a 16-week training plan, but I've actually got longer than that to train, which is amazing because it means I can do the training plan. And then if I struggle one week or I'm ill a week, I can like just move that to the next week, or if I can redo a week. It means I've got like a decent amount of time to train, so hopefully I can cross the finish line. I don't care about finishing within a certain time. I don't really care about my pace or anything. I just want to be able to do it. Like I just want to cross the finish line. That is the main thing for me. It's something to work towards. So then it's basically just giving myself something to work towards, something to keep me committed to. And then at the end of it, I can cross the line and I can get a medal and I can say that I've done it. And if I do it in a certain time, fantastic. If I do it at a good pace, fantastic. If I walk half of it, fantastic. I don't really care. I just want to do it. And as long as I put my most effort in and I work my hardest with my training, I don't care what time I do it in. Do you know what I mean? As long as I've tried my best, that is all I care about. And that, I think, is basically everything to catch you up on. When I found out and I got the email, like I said, I didn't film my reaction, but I was in the middle of filming a weekly vlog. So I'll insert the clip in here of me kind of being like, oh my God, I've got a place in the marathon. What am I meant to do? Oh my God. Okay. I've got this dress on because I'm trying to decide whether to pack it or not, which I think I am going to. But I've just seen my emails, basically. Don't know if you watched the weekly vlog when Alana ran the London Marathon, but I really enjoyed watching Alana run the London Marathon, and I watched the London Marathon all day that day because I was watching Alana run it. I've never watched it before, never had an interest in it before. And as I was watching the marathon, they kept going like, apply for next year. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to enter into the ballot. I probably won't get in, but at least I've tried. They've just emailed me and said I've got in. And it was like, did you get in or not? And I opened up the email and it was like, you're in. I've been offered a place. What the fuck? I actually don't know what to do. I've got until the 1st of August to secure my place by paying. Do I want to pay £69.99 to put myself through absolute hell and run a marathon? Am I going to regret that? I really don't know what to do. Like, I was not expecting that. Can't even tell you the last time I went on a run and I've got a place in the marathon. What am I meant to do? I'm not sure. I really don't know if I can do this. That's thrown an absolute curveball in the works. Let me give you an update on packing now that we're here. But other than that, I think you're now all up to date and caught up. That kind of explains all the runs in the weekly vlogs, and now I've mentioned it here and I've let you know in my weekly vlogs I will be referring to my marathon training, kind of letting you know how I'm getting on, going into it in a little bit more detail. But obviously before I was trying to be a little bit secretive with what I was doing, so I just kind of said I was going on a run and left it at that. So definitely, like I said, watch my weekly vlogs and my TikToks for more sort of marathon updates and trainings and things like that. And you can follow me along on this journey of a girl who probably ran once a month, if that, who is now training for the London Marathon. Have I gone absolutely bonkers? Yes, I think I have. But that is the update. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you at some point soon in another video. Bye!